there are certain things that can always take us back to our youth. For some, the closest thing to a time machine trip to the past is a visit to a drive-in movie theater. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the first drive-in theater. It was May 16, 1933, the day the first patent was issued for a new concept where people would sit outside in their cars and watch films. Less than a month later, with an investment of $30,000, it all began. The first drive-in opened for business in Camden, New Jersey. This is the Skyview Drive-In. Located in Belleville, Illinois, it's one of about 400 drive-ins still in business around the world. In 1958, there were as many as 5,000. But like many businesses that beat the odds of survival, many continue to hang on because of family and tradition.
This was in the family. My grandfather built Skyview 1949. I grew up around theaters. I knew how to thread up a movie projector when I was 5 years old. So it's been a passion of mine. I've just always been around them, and I've always wanted to work in the theater business.
The competition for these still standing symbols of the past is quite fierce. On top of the obvious benefits of a traditional multiplex, there are other variables. A hot, humid day or the threat of a thunderstorm, and the drive-in can be a tough sell.
The fancy theaters certainly have their amenities. I mean, it's air conditioned. You have comfortable seats. You have either 5.1 or 7.1 stereo sound. What makes us different is we're outside. We're under the stars.
And with the rising costs of taking a family to see a movie, the drive-in provides a bit of relief for an otherwise expensive family outing.
You take family to a multiplex, mom and pop and 2 or 3 kids, and they all want a soda, they all want a popcorn. You're talking about an outlay of $100, because I don't know of any indoor theater that allows you to bring your own stuff in. We don't stop them from it. I will say we have the best popcorn that you can find. You can't go to a grocery store and buy popcorn or make it at home and taste as good as ours.
The very first drive-in theater was invented by Richard M. Hollingshead. It was in his driveway of his New Jersey home where it all began. A 1928 Kodak projector mounted to the roof of his car, and bed sheets nailed to a tree for a screen. Richard placed a radio behind the screen for sound. He even conducted tests, how the audio sounded with the car windows up and with the windows down, even using his lawn sprinkler system to see what a movie might look like in a rainstorm, and perfecting the view by arranging cars in his driveway at just the right angle. At their peak, drive-ins were the place to be for teens. But over time, the experience has changed from what many adults now recall about their own teenage drive-in visits.
They remember drive-ins as the passion pit, teenage hangout. And it isn't that anymore. We get a date crowd in here, but it's not overwhelming. The largest part of our crowd is a family business. Parents bringing their kids, grandparents bringing their grandkids, grandparents coming out and reliving their youth.
And while a trip to the drive-in may take you back to the 50s and 60s, not everything about the drive-in experience is still old. Gone are the original window speakers that were once a staple of the drive-in experience. Today, it's a radio frequency that lets you listen in on your car stereo or portable boombox. Then perhaps the biggest change, and one of necessity, the picture itself.
For a drive-in to survive, you've got to somehow figure out a way to do the digital conversion, because the studios have pretty much all said that by the end of this year, they won't be releasing any of their movies on film. At the end of 2012, there were 368 drive-ins left in the country. I would predict that probably by the end of this year or in the next year, when you do a census of drive-ins, you'll find out that a number of them had to close just because they can't afford the $70,000 per screen that it costs to convert to digital.
And as the sun finally sets and the projector light starts to shine, the good old days are back, at least until the credits roll.